Welcome to Renewed Talk, everyone. It is Elaine Janelle here on the mic. How are you guys this evening? Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm going to put the link out there on Facebook as well. I'm inviting you guys to join us tonight for Renewed Talk. It's been a minute, but we're getting some things done. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed the show tonight. All right. For those who don't know, my name is Elaine. You guys have really enjoyed the show tonight. Okay, I want us to hear that. My name is Elaine Janelle, and I'm the host of Renewed Talk. And I just wanted to hop on tonight and share an awesome conversation about songwriting. So I really hope that you can stay on for a few minutes and check us out. All right. I hope you guys can stay on for a minute so you can check us out. I am posting it on Facebook so that people can see it.
Can you still hear the music in the background?
Nope.
All right, cool. I shut there's two doors. I shut the second door. It's a little lower. It might get louder. Just letting you know now.
No, we're good. We're good. So welcome to Renewed Talk. My name's Elaine Janelle, like I just told you, and I just want to tell you guys that I'm happy that any of you who are hopping on can join us for this conversation tonight. We are talking about songwriting tonight, and it's something that's a special place in my heart for songwriting. This is a really, really special place in my heart for songwriting. So for many, many people who are not used to these type of conversations, they are very, very thought-provoking conversations. They're very, very heart-driven conversations, and they also are big conversations relating to who we are as people. And so before I bring my guest on, and you probably heard her a little bit in the beginning because we were talking, but before I bring her to the screen, I wanted to first let you know a little bit about Renewed Talk. We are a podcast that started going live on YouTube back in 2017. And the podcast concept is life with God involved. So we talk about general aspects of life. So if you check out my YouTube, if you check out iTunes, if you check out Player FM, if you check out SoundCloud, which is the place where I upload everything, you see the conversations that are literally about everything, all scopes of life. And then what I do is at any moment, if we decide to slip and talk about something that relates to God, it's okay. You know, sometimes if you work in certain areas, you can't do that freely. It becomes very touch and go. But in this area, we have a huge freedom where we can talk about God freely. So we have that space to do that. But we're going to really talk about songwriting. That's going to be the main thing we talk about tonight. So I hope that you guys enjoy the conversation. If you have questions, we can see your comments on the side. So if you have questions, I'm going to definitely shout out comments and any questions that anybody may have, and we're going to give space to that. Also, I'm going to tell you right now that on StreamYard just gives us a lot of flexibility, which is one of the people I use. I'm sure you can see the logo somewhere right there. Okay, there it is. There's a logo. As the show progresses, that logo will change to my logo. But on tonight is going to be StreamYard, so shout out to them for letting this and making this happen. All right. I'm going to bring the host on the show. In the meantime, if you like what you hear, repost and share. Share if you like what you hear tonight. But we're here and we're talking about music. All right. And we're talking about songwriting. So my host, her name is Nettie, and we're going to bring her to the screen right now. Hey, Miss Nettie.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Just living life, loving life.
That's good. I'm glad you're loving life. I'm glad you're enjoying. It's Renewed Talk tonight. I decided to put on Instagram a little bit. I usually do Facebook or something else, but usually they can only see me. So they're gonna have to go to. If you want to see the full effect of what we're doing right now, go to my story and drop on by YouTube. It's real quick. And go to my story and drop right on YouTube, and we're going to talk about songwriting. All right, so let's get started because I've already taken up enough time talking about gibberish. Nettie, where are you from?
Hey, you know, I'm from the Philadelphia area.
That's great. And
best place ever.
Best place ever. And with you being from Philadelphia, and all of the things that you do, like tell us a little bit about yourself, like what part of Philadelphia you grew up in. I'm going to tell you guys how we met, but what part of Philadelphia you grew up in and things like that.
Philadelphia, from Philadelphia, born and raised. Lived mostly in the Germantown area, in East Falls. I make music, like I sing, I write, I produce, I vocal arrange, name it. Do a little bit of painting, do a little bit of drawing. You know, if you want to know more, like, yeah, like just do a little bit of everything.
Everything. And with that being said, the reason how Nettie and I know each other, I call her Nettie now, but I know her as Vanessa. And we met in high school. So I'm not going to give out your whole government name. I'll just keep that on the documents. But we went to high school together and we sang together for years, to be straight up.
Years.
And now we're both doing different things. I think our 20s were full of really getting to know ourselves. And I can really say that our 20s was full of us getting to know each other even better as well. Yeah. Because we traveled and sang. We didn't just stay in Philly. We went everywhere and sang. If you're checking us out and you want to know what's going on, we're on Renewed Talk. Go to YouTube. That's why I'm live for a few minutes on Instagram. But we sang and we traveled and sang. So, you know, and when you start traveling with people or if you live with somebody,
you learn a lot. You learn a whole lot. Shout out to
some stuff you may not want to learn, but you're going to learn. Some stuff you may not want to know, but you're going to know.
But the love is still real, though. The love is absolutely real. It was my brothers and sisters, basically.
Yeah, I can definitely say we grew that type of camaraderie. We could fuss and fight, but we still was going to minister together. We still was going to talk, and we still was going to sing. Like we still was going to make sure that we executed what we came to do.
Absolutely.
So that's how I know Nettie. But I wanted to play a little game to start us off so that people can get to know your personality a little better.
Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Right, you didn't get these questions or nothing, so you probably gonna be like,
all right.
But just some fun. I'm on live with Nettie, y'all, on YouTube. And so I just wanted to ask you some simple things to get to know some things about you and your personality and the qualities of what you do. So first off, I want to ask you, so this has been a big thing that's been coming up lately. I saw on like timelines and stuff about if we do grits with sugar or salt.
I saw that. I'm going to say salt.
Okay.
I've never had grits with sugar before. I'm not about to start at all. No. You live your lives the way you want to live them. It's salt for me.
Got you. Black or white? What color do you prefer?
Black.
Got you. Soft or loud?
Say it again?
Soft or loud?
Soft.
So on the girly side of things, long hair or short hair?
Long.
And how about this? So I know right now where you are, but we'll let the viewers know in a few minutes. East Coast or West Coast?
Both.
You didn't want to take the time to choose?
Nope. No. I mean, honestly, both.
Got you.
Both have things that you need.
Got you. So for those who don't know, Nettie, like she's just said, originally from Philadelphia. If you're just hopping on and you're checking out live, I'm live on YouTube. If you want to see it, check it out on YouTube. On my page, we're talking about songwriting tonight, and my page is called Renewed Talk with Elaine Janelle. So Nettie is originally from Philadelphia, but now she is living in the great city of LA.
Los Angeles.
And Los Angeles is holding some good people, I must say.
Absolutely. And Philly thick out here too.
Say that again.
Philly is thick out here too. Just letting you know, like thick out here. Seriously, a lot of Philadelphians out here.
Out here. So this is that's a big thing for you to relocate, and for the sake of what she does with music, it's a good thing for her to relocate. So I want to dive into the aspect of songwriting, and then we're going to get more into like literally what you do right now. My first question I want to ask is how old were you? How old were you when you started writing songs, and did you even know that's what you were doing?
Honestly, I have to say I started writing songs probably at, I want to say 12. And I'm pretty sure that I knew I was writing songs. I'm pretty sure that they were just, they're 12-year-old point of view songs, but they were definitely just ways to express myself or to have fun and be creative. You know what I mean? But I started that when I was 12 years old, just kind of progressed even the more, So, yeah.
Got you. Is there anything that you wrote at the age of 12 that you kind of like recollect? Like, I mean, it's over 20 years later.
Well, here's the thing. I will say this, and don't laugh at me, but I actually tried to rewrite a song that I wrote probably a little younger than that. I was trying to put my little brother to sleep, so I wrote him a lullaby. It's very, very, very simple. It was "Go to Sleep," little boy. Go to sleep. Something about a land of toys and stuff, but it was highly innocent, but nevertheless, it was something that I tried to actually bring back to life. But maybe I'll bring it back to life later. Who knows?
That's good. That's good. With you saying that, did you think that you would grow in it? Like, did your passion for songwriting beginning at the age of 12, did you think that you would begin to actually grow in it through like your high school years into adulthood? Like, how did you feel about that like process? Did you think it would happen, or?
I didn't think it would get to this point songwriting wise. I never thought it would get to this point. Like at one point it was just me writing poems, and singing them.
Okay.
And it took me a while to even understand the format of a song. I didn't understand the format of a song until I was 15. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I had never thought that it would get to this point. It definitely became more real to me when I turned 15, where like song formats and how things feel, everything like that started to come into play. So yeah.
Gotcha. What is the format of a song?
There's different kinds for different types of genres, but I'll say that there, you could go I'll say maybe like you go off 3, but one main one is intro, hook, verse, pre-hook, hook, verse, pre-hook, hook, maybe a bridge, maybe a vamp, hook, ending. That's a pretty general format, and it's popular because it's kind of popular to start songs with hooks, because hooks are like the point, so you want to get to the point as soon as possible. So,
and for those who don't know what hooks are very similar to choruses. The main purpose of the song, usually, not all the time, songs would be named after the hook of the song. Not all the time, though.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but
and people like to be different too. People like to people like to start right away. You know what I mean? Like there's no intro. There's just right into the verse. Go. You know what I mean? So you never different way to be creative, but
definitely. Yeah. So if you're on checking me out on Instagram, go over to YouTube. I'm live right now with New Talk. That's why I'm on here. Hey guys. So one thing that I know for sure is that you have progressed in this and you're growing in it. I think one of the biggest things that for what I know about Nettie, one of the biggest things I always wonder about is you singing your own music versus somebody else singing your music. What is that like? Like, and the only reason I say that is because, and we're going to dive into it, but one of the reasons I say that is because, okay, to write a song is one thing. And for your thoughts, for it to convey your thoughts is one thing, but the transition of when it goes to somebody else. First, let me start with this, and then we'll open up. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to sing your own music, or do you prefer somebody else to sing your music?
Someone else. Absolutely someone else. Absolutely someone else. Not because I don't enjoy how I sound, but it's a surreal feeling to see somebody sing your song, like know your songs, because it's something about, well, first of all, songwriting is supposed to be personal yet inclusive. You know what I mean? This is something that I'm writing in some instances based off of my own experiences, in some instances based off of relating to someone else,
Gotcha.
or someone else's, but they're supposed to be relatable. And when a person relates to it so much that they want to sing it, you know what I mean, that they feel it, that they feel where you're coming from and everything, that is a surreal feeling, especially when it's on a large scale, when people whom you've never met in life are singing words that you sat in your room one night and wrote out just because you were feeling something or whatever the case may be. That is a surreal feeling. Surreal. And loving it too. Seeing a massive amount of people sing it, that's different. That's
a whole different. Different. Why not you? And this is only, so I do understand for those who are listening or checking this out, the conversation about songwriting, guys, on Instagram, I forgot to pin it at the bottom. But why not, for you, why not yourself versus somebody else?
Well, me, I don't mind singing my own songs. Like I love to sing my songs. I know how to execute them and everything. I know where they're supposed to come from. I know how I would hope the person listening would feel. But someone else, because the point of me making the song was so that somebody else could feel it. And if it gets to a point where they feel it, they sing it, and they give it the emotion that they make it their own, that's great too. You know what I mean? We're connecting. You know what I mean? We're connecting in a way. So that's why I love it. I love that connection, yeah.
There was something, I've lost my piece and I'm mad that I lost it. I'm mad that I lost it. If you check me out on Instagram, I'm saying it again, join me on YouTube. We're on YouTube live talking about songwriting. So there was a piece that with the lyrics that you have written, and you said that you like the joys of hearing not just somebody sing it, but a whole bunch of people sing the lyrics versus like yourself. Are there ever times where you feel like it's translated wrong? Now, I also realize it's your vocal arranger, so we'll dive into that for a few minutes as well. But is there ever a feeling that you feel like it's not translated the right way?
There was one song that I have. It's one of my favorites. I'm sorry if you hear the music around.
Oh, you're fine. You're actually good. We're good.
But there was actually one song that I didn't feel a way about it, the translation of it, but it did kind of surprise me that people got what they got out of the song, because it meant one thing and it was talking about one thing, but people saw it as something else. You know what I mean? Oh, this could be about marriage. This could be about, just love in general, and so forth and so on. And I'm like, okay, it's about something in particular, but okay, whatever you say. Like, but what was great about that was that everybody, the way they felt was similar. Like whatever visual they got or whatever the case may be, whether it be different or the same, the way they felt was the same. That response was the same. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the feeling response, because that's at the end of the day, that's a thing. You know what I mean? How it feels.
I think what's amazing about that is just that you can write something, somebody else can feel totally different about it, or it connects with them in a different way, like you said. And it brought my mind back to there's a song by J Moss, like his first album. It's been a minute. I think it's from the first album. It's called I Want to Give More, right?
Okay.
And so I've told like a few people after I heard it a few times, early on, I told a few people, hey Trey, I said, this song makes me think it's a wedding song. And it was like, really? And I was like, go back and listen to the lyrics. I said, well, let's put this out there, because Jay Moss is a person who writes not just for gospel people, but he's written for secular people as well. He knows how to translate. It's not a lost thing for him to know how to translate. So when he did that, I was like, this really could easily be a wedding song. And it also could be very much so a song that he wrote for one thing. It was like, this could work as a gospel song.
Right. I mean, a lot of love songs, of course, we know a lot of love songs and them being secular. If you are, talking about love in particular and works for you, that all could be gospel songs. At the end of the day, what is God? He is love, right? There you go. You know what I mean?
Got you. And just so y'all know, this podcast, this episode of Renewed Talk about Songwriters is not about gospel songs versus secular and what's better, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. This ain't that episode.
I'm about to say, because I definitely do not write a lot of gospel songs. I do some of everything.
Right, but I just want to, sometimes when people look for a space, and I'm like, that's not what this episode about. It's literally about songwriting. And if you write songs, I'm sure it's something that you'll be able to learn or gain from this episode. So it came back to me, something you said earlier in the question, because I'm working off memory. I did write my questions out, but I'm working off memory. What is there a process that you go through to construct a song? Is there something is there like an aura, a feeling? How does it work for you or come to you?
A conversation sometimes, most times, is actually really good. Like there was around the time that I was in the beginner stages of like writing, I would write songs that my friends were going through, like things that I would just have in conversation. Like they would tell me, yeah, this guy and this and the third, and I would just go off of that. You know what I mean? A story or some type of scene, something to paint a picture for somebody. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to be by myself. Sometimes I need a lot of people around me. It depends on what kind of feeling I'm going for. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I have to get into the feel of how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? Really get into it. But it, sometimes certain things just come. Like I will say that some of the best songs that I've written just came, like I promise you, out of nowhere. I'm just sitting, listening to something, and idea done. Let's go, record it. Something like that. Get it down, and nice little blueprint, and then go from there. You know what I mean? But yeah, there are different types of ways to start your song off.
That's so. When you said it just comes, all right. For those on Instagram, shout out. Let me shout out a few people real quick. I'm gonna come right back to when you said it just comes. Shout out to Simca Rabbi, also known as Leroy, who is already watching now. Shout out to Judah Rogers. Shout out to Jewel. Jewel's talking about, hey girl.
Oh, hey Jewel. Hey Judah.
Shameless plug. Oh yes, your brother's on here on Instagram talking about
my brother.
Here. I'm trying to talk on YouTube and not just type everything. So I don't have the link right at my disposal. Hold on, Sonny, the host.
Hi, brother.
Do you hear her saying hi, brother? Hey, Naya, Sean, April. We're talking about songwriting tonight on YouTube. I just didn't take the time to write everything in. So that's why. So to my Philly people, thank you so much for supporting me. Because one thing for sure, this is one thing I want to say for sure, is that when the people, your support system can literally shift and change your life. They can change your thinking. They can change your life when you have an amazing support system. It don't gotta be a lot of people. It just gotta be sure people, a sure support system.
Absolutely.
All right, that's a whole commercial. But when I was just looking at some of the people who was like, I'm on YouTube, but put the link here, and I'm like, I don't have a team yet. Shout out to the people who are famous that can just drop a podcast like that.
Right. Shout out to them.
I'm not there just yet. I'm getting there. So what I'm gonna try to do is grab this link real quick while we're talking. In the meantime, while we're talking, I do have a question. So when you said it just comes to you, do you feel like great songwriters have a natural gift of conveying their thoughts?
Yeah. The songwriters that I've met, it's weird because sometimes I like to look for like commonalities of all of why are these people great? Why are they so this or whatever? And although everybody's different and they approach things differently, sometimes there are commonalities that they have. Like they're very articulate about how they say things. They love to paint pictures even in conversation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They sometimes bring up interesting ideas like, yo, what if this and this, and I'm just like, that's interesting, that would be a dope song. You know what I mean? So yeah, like it's interesting how people get a spark. Some for some people it just comes quickly, you know what I mean, and others I know that even in length writing songs, some come really fast, and other ones it might take a week, might take a day. You know, you never know. So yeah.
I asked that because if you are an aspiring songwriter, if anybody that listens to the show, whether now or coming, and they're a person who aspires to write songs and to write for other people, I wonder the placement, like the mentality that goes with that, and that's why I asked, do you think it's a gift?
Yeah, like you when you're writing for other people, like I said, the conversation is necessary because you need to know where they're at. You know what I mean? You have to know where their mindset is, or even what they just plan on doing. You know what I mean? What's the concept? And then I'll say for me, I have to put myself in the place. Like if we're talking about a breakup or something like that, I got to put myself there. You know what I mean? Whether it be what would I do if I was this person experiencing this, or experiences of my own. You know what I mean? And what makes sense as far as how you need to be honest. You know what I mean about things, and then how it feels. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, finding out where that person is. You know what I mean? Connecting with that person. It's easier to write for them when you connect with them. You know what I mean? That's not always the case. Like you're not always going to be able to connect. Sometimes you write a song, they just like it and they just take it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for the most part, at the end of the day, putting yourself in that place and getting the feel and executing the feeling, that's the big part right there.
Do you, because you said that when you know a person and when you sit down with them to make that connection, it translates differently. Have you ever had like an aha moment with a person? Meaning, you wrote a song, love, friendship, whatever, world situations, because that's something that's very real to write about right now. And if you wrote a song and then when a person heard it, they immediately like got it, like they got what you were trying to convey. Like that's, I call it. I said an aha moment, but I mean like it's almost like that genuine connection.
Yeah. It's a few songs. It's a lot of songs that very seldomly, I'll say this, very seldomly will you find a song where you don't get it right away. Like there are not a lot of songs where you're like, I still don't understand, because it has to start with you. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
I
right.
know that as a creative, you can get so creative that you start saying just anything that you want to say. But the comfort is knowing that you're not alone, even when you have the craziest thoughts, the craziest bars that you toss in the song or whatever, and it might not be, it might not be in, big worded out or anything like that. It might just be said plainly. It might be said poetically. But one thing is, somebody's going to relate to it. Somebody is going to feel it. Someone is. There's literally an audience for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the audience is craving somebody to relate to as well. Somebody in the forefront to be like, oh, you understand me. You know what I mean? But I say that to say, like, very seldomly are you going to find a song where you just don't get it. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I had my moments of not getting it with a few songwriters that a lot of people like.
Okay, so
only one probably that I can think of as of right now.
I was about to ask you. Go ahead.
I still mess with his music. It's been a minute. It's on the tip of my tongue. On the tip of my tongue, and I cannot get it out. But he did.
Well, I was about to say, you can't even think of the song, or
he did Novocaine. Novocaine. Why can't I think of his name? But he did Novocaine. It was really, really popular a few years ago. But in listening to his album, there were songs where I was just like, you just said what you was in your head and you wrote it down. Like you didn't care who got it. You just said, so yeah, I used to think that about him. But I got it. Like I absolutely got it when you really sit and you really listen to it and it's poetic. You know what I mean? And you're like, I see what you're saying. Okay. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta dive into the bottom of the ocean with the person in order to get it.
That was literally what I was about to say. I was about to say, did it like take a minute to catch on? You know how you listen to a new album or a new artist, and you're like, there's some people that I just came to the conclusion like that's just not my style. No hate, because some people can write amazing lyrics, and it may not be the music may not be my style. But the other part is like when it is an artist that you listen to, or it's a person you follow, and you're like, let me dive. When you said dive in, or people say it gotta grow on me, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's songs that have to grow on you. And sometimes it might just be where you're at as far as how you feel and everything like that. That could just be the reason why you're not getting it right away, because your brain is just not in that place right now. But then you go back and listen to it like, oh, okay. And I mean, that's what happened with me. Like I would listen to his song, and it was only like maybe one or two that I didn't it didn't connect right away. But when you go back and you listen, you're like, oh, okay, I see where you're at. You were in a place where you felt lonely, or you felt betrayed, or you felt, whatever, you know what I mean? And I didn't see it there because my head wasn't there, you know what I mean? And sometimes you can say that even about talking with different people and conversing with different people. Like sometimes I'm just not in this conversation because I'm not in that place. You know what I mean? Even just like sometimes when you gotta pray before you go somewhere to get yourself into the mindset, to prepare yourself for something. Sometimes that's just the case. You know what I mean?
That's real. No, that's real. I definitely can say that it takes a moment, and like you said, it took your moment to get to. We never said the artist, but to get to understand Novocaine or get to understand.
I'm gonna figure it out. It's Novocaine, and wait, what's the one that everybody is on so badly? Frank Ocean. There we go. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
You saw. I was about to say. I saw his name and I said, "Let me see. See a comment."
Yeah,
He's helping me to actually build a new talk. No. So I get what you're saying. Sometimes not getting it right away. So all right. So I've been talking about that you've been writing and that you've been writing since the age of 12, and we've been just sharing like your thoughts and things like that. Some of the people that you write for now I did a little bit of research. I don't mean I have a lot, but I got a little bit. So so there's a group called Good Girl, and they are really out of, like she said, out of Philadelphia, but are also bi-coastal in LA. And you write for them. I also noticed that you write for a guy named Simba. And you tell me if I'm saying it wrong.
Okay, so here's the thing. Simba, you're saying his name correctly. The girls, they're definitely based out of Philly. I did a production for Simba, actually. I did.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
That's you.
And my voice is on like two of his songs that he dropped.
Got you.
So go check those out. Support, please, thank you. and go check out that Good Girl, because Good Girl is great. They're amazing. But yeah, they are definitely some great acts. You guys are in for a treat. They're really talented, really great, wonderful artists who I think will really make a giant impact on their fans and their viewers and stuff like that, because they're necessary.
What makes so with the Good Girl? What makes them necessary in your eyes? Because you've been you and I are one and the same. Hey y'all, if you're checking this out, say shout out, hey Natasha, if you're checking this out on Instagram, I'm on YouTube doing Renew Talk Live. Yo, I'm weak. What we are one and the same. What makes them stand out? And even with, you've done some vocals with Simba, and then I want to talk about any other artists that you're currently working with that you're allowed to share. I understand sometimes in the process we're not allowed to share all of the good information. But what makes them stand out? Because one thing we can say is that black women, girl groups over the years have like translated. They keep growing. And sad to say, some come and some go. And so I think when you just said they're needed, I think something that people look for nowadays is a different sound, or they're just looking for that sincerity in music, because you know what I mean? We have so much diversity to choose from at this point. And so what that's why I said when you said they're needed, what do you feel? I shouldn't say what makes them needed, because I think every artist stands alone. What do you feel?
I'll say this. Google represents, number one for me, they represent sisterhood, like, you know what I mean? Togetherness, camaraderie, all that stuff. They represent that, you know what I mean? And that's what's necessary now, like in this world, camaraderie, not somebody biting and talking about somebody else, or trying to cancel somebody and stuff like that. Camaraderie is necessary. There's not a lot of Black girl groups right now, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, it's nice to see, you know what I mean? Whenever you see a group of friends, it ought to make you smile, especially when they're having fun, you know what I mean? And I love seeing that, like, people need to see that side of them, you know what I mean? Having fun, whatever they do together, they cook together, laugh together, like that makes you smile when you see things like that. Simba just knows how to say words. And it's just great, and he says it with such conviction and such confidence. You know what I mean? When you listen to him, he knows how to tell a story. He knows how to do it. Like, he knows how to talk heavy. Like, sometimes you need that too. Like, everything is necessary. And because they are entertainers, and we're living in time right now where this is the main communication, and we're speaking and we're talking and stuff like that. This is it's a platform, you know what I mean? So why not use it? Why not use it for this? You know what I mean? So I say that they're necessary. They're always necessary. They're always going to be necessary.
I laughed when you said Simba knows how to say words.
Listen, because there's some.
No, go ahead, say it. No,
there are some cases where a person, I don't. When you hear them say something, you're just like, I don't think you meant to say it that way. But all right, I'm just gonna take it. You know what I mean? Like you know how you've heard people say you have a way with words. Well,
but he's a
with words.
That's good. That's good. Are there any other artists that you have worked with in the past or that you worked with recently that you would want to share? Like I said,
not writing because I did what is it? I did vocal production. So Brandy was fun.
Which album did you work with her on?
No, she was working. She was actually working on Simba's. Simba's.
Oh wow! Okay.
And she was. What is it? I was asked to vocal produce her, and I had time to prepare my heart and my mind for her arrival.
Because you know, people would lose.
If I wasn't prepared, I don't know how it would have gone. I don't know how it would have gone. But I was prepared, so it was cool. I was still nervous, but I was prepared. But that was fun just because she was very sweet, and she was like, "Man, I need you. I need you in the booth. Like, I need you." I was sitting behind her while she was recording. Like, I was saying, "Yes, that note, this note." It was fun. Like so, but and because I say that I do different things. Like I do everything that's necessary. So if it takes writing, if it takes production, if it takes vocal production, or anything like that, if it takes some padding, I'm gonna sing it, background vocals, whatever. So
that I mean, I can only imagine because we shout out to Jewel, who I know is watching. People study. Shout out to my friend Justin Risper. People study Brandy's moves, and it's obvious. Like when you hear Kiera Shear, you hear.
Let me just let you know something about Brandy.
Go ahead.
She said, "Is there auto tune on it?" And we were like, "No," because I already thought it was. No.
Oh wow!
All of that is pure, all her, and she does it well. She's been here before, and nobody can say anything because she's wonderful. Like she's literally like she that joy. She did a run. I will say this though, I was happy because she did a run one time, and she's like, "Was that the right one?" And I gave her the correct run, and I felt very special giving her the correct one because I'm like, and she laughed and she said, "Thanks, Nettie Pie." She was like,
Nettie Pie, I love it.
I loved it. It was so great.
Oh, I'm so weak. Nettie Pie.
But she is the truth.
That has to be humbling. Like, how was that? Like, did you know that she was doing the vocals with Simba, or what did you know about that before you walked in?
Well, she was coming to lay a part. She was coming to re-sing a part that was referenced. So she was just singing like a piece of a hook, I do believe.
Okay.
So yeah, you know what I mean. It was planned for her to sing it. Of course, that's why I knew she was coming because
right.
But yeah, that was a very surreal.
Yes.
You know, and like I said, she's very sweet. It wasn't weird and nerve wracking. And I mean, at this point, I don't get nervous, but it was nice to see her. She was a pleasant person.
That's good. Have you had? And I don't want you to name names. I'm gonna ask a straight question. Have you had any people yet that you're like, I'd rather not do this with them again? Wow.
I haven't had anyone. My teammates might be different, but I have because my teammates are a little bit further ahead in this thing a little bit more than I have, having traveled the world and playing for different people and stuff. So they might have different stories. Who knows? They might not have a different story, but I haven't met anybody that I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Not yet. Okay. No, that's good though. Even because you're intertwined with the independent artists as well as mainstream artists, it can come a dime a dozen because even some of the independent artists will give you a work out.
Independent artists, You know, they're just as good as the ones who are,
Right.
you know what I mean? And they have to, because they're, you know, it's not the sport is different, you know what I mean? So, but
I get what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're just as hard of grinders as anybody else, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. I'm not saying that like work with work. I was talking about personality. I know some people can be more harsh than other people. As far as work ethic, as an independent artist, I think the work is a little bit heavier.
I haven't gotten anybody whose personality has been, you know, a bit much. I haven't really run into
That's
somebody.
great. No, that's really good to hear that. That's good to hear that. Let me ask you, I only have like two more questions and we're going to get up out of here. I just need to know from the Vanessa, yes, I went back to your full name.
Whew.
Don't get mad. Don't
No,
get
I'm not. I love my name. I love my name.
mad.
Only certain people call
Okay,
me.
good.
Certain people know me, so that's
Some people
okay.
get mad when they start going by. They be like, "Don't you? I told you don't call me that." And I be like,
I'm
"Okay,
not that.
I
I am
will.
not
I
that
will
rude.
abide by the rules."
I'm
But
very
no. From you transitioning from being in Philadelphia to being in LA, and I know you also consider yourself bi-coastal, meaning that you still do work on both ends of it. It's not like you only work in LA, that you still come home and get things done. But you have always had like a quiet and meek spirit. So that's why when I say quiet, loud, for those who've been watching the entire show, shout out to anybody that's been on the entire show, because I know people don't watch full lives anymore. People don't. I ain't even gonna
no,
say people don't
no.
watch full lives. Y'all know it's the truth. Hey, cousin.
Just a little bit, then I'm out. Thanks.
Right. You catch like 5-10 minutes of it, and you be like, this is great. And if it's still up, I'll come back and watch them later,
Right.
in the replay.
Mm.
But but no, you've always had a quiet and meek spirit, and that was when I was messing with the whole like loud and quiet. How does that transcend now, being with Triangle Park Music? And I just want to share about your team after this for a few minutes. But how does that translate now, being with like a team of people, and you are like, but you're like a quiet monster, because then you come or storm, whatever way you want to say it.
That's literally how they go about it.
Wow. Okay.
It's the, I appreciate my team, because, the best thing about being a part of a great team is, everybody trusts each other's abilities. Everybody trusts each other's integrity and their character. So sometimes I don't have to speak for myself. They'll do it for me right away. Like they down to my hugs. Like, she gives the best hugs. You gotta hug her. Like, I'm like, oh well, COVID, but okay.
COVID.
I'll be right. I'll do my best. But but yeah, they sometimes they speak for me. I definitely have gotten a little louder in vocally, but I still get yelled at for speaking too soft. Like, I can't hear you. But it's okay though. I digress. Just saying. I have a good team and support around me who know me well enough to give me the oop when necessary. So I don't have to say anything. I just go in and do the work. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah.
How did you meet the team from Triangle Park? So I want you to share their names, if it's all right. And because I do want people to check out, your website and things like that. Some of the songs they've written for are currently nominated for Grammys. So just shout out to working hard, working through COVID.
Always working, no matter what.
What?
No matter what.
But do share, like, tell us more about Triangle Park Music and just the team and how you met them.
Gotcha. Well, Triangle Park Music, we're a group of producers, and everyone has their special gifts and their special abilities that they have. It's Scott, Ali, Andre, and Venom, or Rafiq, if you will.
I saw the website says Venom. Venom.
Don't tell him I call him Rafiq.
Right, look. That's
a joke.
Thing. I told you I respect. I follow the rules.
But but I call him Venom because I want people to respect that name, because he packs some good heat with his drums and everything like that. So, but but it consists of us. I'm literally the first and only girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah.
Actually, February. The funny thing is, February will be end of February will be a year that I signed with them.
Oh wow. Well, congratulations. Well, it's February now, so
Right.
congratulations. I don't know if there's like a specific date,
End
but
of February,
end of
probably
February.
around the 20th, I do believe. But
Yeah, you're
but
coming up on
yeah,
the anniversary.
yeah, it'd be a year since I signed with them. Um, I met them actually. I've known Ali for years when we were singing around Philly and
Yeah,
doing
we were
outreach.
playing around Philly when we were singing. I remember Ali.
Most
Yeah,
of our team are Philly musicians, so
right, right.
Ray, of course, playing
Yeah,
for
he's
everybody.
playing
Of
bass around
course, you know what I
Philly.
mean. So, and that actually was before anything. He actually had a production team called the Matrix, and I had heard about them throughout the city in Philly too.
Wow.
Um, how I met them was when Good Girl needed some things. I had written a song actually with my brother, this guy named Rel, and Pink Sweats.
Okay.
We were all living in Philly, and the girls ended up having to record it. And Scott called me and asked me to come and engineer it.
Wow.
And
Okay.
this was my first time because I had known Ari already. Ari's the one with the yellow hair. I had
Mm-hmm.
known Ari already, but this was my first time meeting the other three. And I had heard about Megan. I'd already heard about her. She was great. I saw a YouTube thing she posted of her doing 1+1. I was like, who is this? So, but that was my first time meeting them at Milk Boy when we had to record it, and I fell in love with them. So I said, "Ooh, I'm going to write more songs." I wrote a song with my brother and this guy Darius Coleman,
Okay.
and I made the music and did the arrangement, and I had they recorded it, and I just kind of never left them since then.
Wow.
And that's how I started working with Triangle Park because they were actually initially before Triangle Park, but they were actually initially the girls' production team.
The girls' production team. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
So yeah, and I was always working as a separate entity with them.
mm-hmm.
So I would just come in and lay top lines or something like that, or do some type of background vocals for them.
Mm-hmm.
I would throw them ideas like, "Hey, what about this? How's this?" And, you know what I mean? Just coming in and doing stuff with them, and me and Meg had gotten close and became like best friends.
Gotcha.
So it was just I just knew them just a long time. You know what I mean? I got this chance to see them go from start to how it's going. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many years has it been?
I think this will be their 8th year.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know what I mean? I don't know the exact date, but I know that this will be their 8th
No,
year.
that's a minute. That is a minute. And
Um,
for them to stick with it. And shout out to Ari. I don't know everybody from Good Girl, but I do know Ari because I went to camp with her.
right, right. All right, with the Kappa. Shoot.
Right. We you know what? That is one thing I will say. Even though we met at camp, but it's so many young people that I've met down the line that
Mm-hmm.
came after us. And I mean, let me say it like this. There's people before us, and we was like, oh. And then there's people that came after us, we was like, oh.
Listen, I remember seeing when we were going there. I remember just seeing Leslie Odom. I remember seeing him like, oh, okay, and then I see him, you know,
Right, right, right.
on Oscar nominated movies. I'm like, well, let's go. Come on, Philly.
Yes, that is definitely that's very true. But I always felt like that hearing the people that went before us, and those who don't know who, because since this show goes to everybody, we went to Creative and Performing Arts High School, Philadelphia, and I was a vocal major. Nettie was a visual arts major. Let's make this clear. You were not you were not a vocal major and could sing a tail off better than some of us vocal majors. I'm mad now, but. But it was definitely a creative art school, and some of the greats, but like so many people have slid through there,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody don't stay there. I'm being straight up. Some people literally slid through, but we got a good repertoire repertoire of music, but we just have a good list of people that we can always rep with, who has lived through Kappa and just deposit greatness there. And so, and I mean, from people in music to people in drama. This is so random. I remember a girl named Nikki Starr. She was like the class president, but it wasn't our class. It was another class.
Gotcha.
And I was watching Fresh Off the Boat on TV, and she was in a scene, and I was like, "Wait, rewind." COVID trials.
Listen. I saw, what is it? I forget what episode of some crime drama that was real popular, and I saw old girl that she used to be a drama major.
Is it
Shahida?
Yep. She did Law and Order, I think.
Yeah.
I think she
I
did
was like, let's go. Come on.
I've seen a guy too. What's that show called? The Good Judge. It's a black judge show. Shout out to Black History Month. I know I'm not in the right order, guys.
We really just catching up right now.
But right, because it just shifted. But we gonna end this soon, because I'm gonna be like, they are not talking about songwriting, they talking about their high school years. But it was a guy who plays a guard or something on the show. Oh my god, I'm mad I can't think. I want to say it's called The Good Judge or something Judge, but it's a black judge who's the main character, and she wears like natural hair and everything.
Are you talking about? Oh wait, no, you're talking about shoot, you're I know who you're talking about. It's a black lady.
Yes, and it's like ABC or ABC.
Okay. It's CBS.
CBS.
Oh, that's Jay Alex. That's Jay Alex. Alex was playing on me and Alex connected.
Wow.
I was actually doing some music for him too. Not much so him singing, but he was bringing artists and he was trying to do the scholar thing. But me and him connected, and we still connect till this day. I went on set with him one time while he was filming, but it's crazy. I can't remember the name. I'm just drawing a blank on everything. But
the fact that you got the network right, because networks get upset.
Listen,
with ABC,
it's on CBS. It's a dope show too. It's a really dope show. Like, I mess with it. And he's a progressing character in like one of the main ones. Yeah.
He's gonna be there a while. There.
He's good at what he does too. Yes. He's really good. So.
Yes. So thank you guys definitely for listening and for checking out Nettie tonight. Those who are on Instagram, you wonder like, why am I on here? So many people slid through on Instagram, but I can't connect StreamYard to Instagram. So I might go
get it together. We will get it together.
Might go live on Facebook next time with YouTube to gather more people on. But one thing for sure is Nettie has been writing for years. And I know that her music will be heard around the world even more. I mean, we starting with, I do believe that your music will be heard around the world even more. I also believe that, like, when it comes to when I saw vocal arrangement and producing, it's because that's always been in you. But because you're so quiet, the way you will correct people will be so simple. You never had the takeover spirit.
Listen, I didn't. It is weird because, at the time I never would be prepared for what you're talking about. What you mean? I'm off key or something. Like I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for it. And I wasn't sure about myself as far as whatever abilities I had. Like I'd be sure about a note, but I wouldn't be sure if telling you that it was correct at the right time would be that like
placement.
I used to be in my head a lot, but when you grow, you know what I mean, and you really start to get an understanding about things, it really you can say that you progressed.
Mm-hmm. Well, if anybody hasn't known by now, we've been on for almost an hour, and if anybody doesn't know, she's been in the studio.
And I think they're subtly letting me know. Like,
yes, that's what I say. I'm not even going to fight this anymore. Thank you, Nettie, for taking time out with Renewed Talk tonight. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
I fully thank you for taking. I know it's a whole different time zone because 3 hours early in the day, But I just appreciate you taking time out to hop on and for us to talk. And anybody who's been listening and watching too Renew Talk tonight, I hope that you learned something, gained something. Just be confident. That's like my thing right now. Confident will help you to make the connections. And confidence doesn't mean that you're arrogant. It just simply means that you're confident, so that confident people can be corrected and have no problem being corrected.
Mm-hmm.
We're still sure that this is going to help us get to our destination. So,
Yep.
shout out to Nettie. You can catch her at. That's the part most people aren't getting it. They're like, what? You can catch her.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. A girl made this. Same name.
Got you. So something I do at the end of all my episodes is I pray. So I'm going to do that real quick. And then we're going to get up out of here. Thanks again, guys, for those who stayed with me the whole hour. And like I said, we won't keep nobody else no longer. But Lord, we thank you just for the time to talk, to relate, to share, to open up our thoughts, our mindsets, and also to share our thinking in the process of how we are where we are now. I just want to thank you for Nettie. And I pray that you continue to bless what her hands find to do, that you will help her to be effective in doing that, and also that you will help grow the business and the musical aspect of Triangle Park Music. Help it to be effective and to reach people across the world. In Jesus' name, pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and we're going to come on off of this live.
Good night, guys. Love you.